We are no longer in crisis. We're in emergency. We are in a dire situation. I currently have 80 open positions. I'm operating with 30 to 50% of my shifts open at any time. And keep in mind, these are 24/7, 365 hours. And we're literally operating at absolute legal minimums. We are not providing we are providing person-centered care, but we are not providing the quality of life. We are truly trying to just keep people safe. We've moved to daily meetings so that we can look at what shifts are open in the next 24, 72, and beyond hours. And then we are calling people literally to go fill in. I have 23 staff who are not on the residential side. They're case managers, my HR generalist, my IT guy, one of my maintenance guys. They are picking up shifts. We are training them in to pick up shifts. This is on top of their regular jobs. We've already had to close temporarily 3 homes. We have another 2 homes that are closed on weekends because we don't have staff, and we're in the process of closing 2 more homes. We are asking for exemptions for a 5th bed exception, as well as additional ICF beds so that we can continue to care for our most vulnerable people. But our people who go home on a regular basis, we are asking to go home and stay home with their guardians. We have 2 homes right now that are working with 2 to 3 staff, 12 on, 12 off. I have more than 5 staff that haven't had a day off since the middle of December. And we've got some staff sleeping in basements so that they can be there for their next shift. This isn't safe. It's not sustainable. It's increasingly risky, very difficult. And in full transparency, we were recently cited with unintentional maltreatment. We am fined because we had so many on-call staff working in and out of this house because we didn't have enough permanent staff. They didn't really know each resident, and one of the residents injured themselves and lost part of her thumb. So I have to own that. That wasn't one person's failure. That person's day program didn't notice. Our staff, because they were in and out and maybe hadn't worked there in a week or a month, didn't know how to work with her at optimally, so to speak. This is going to happen more and more, despite our best efforts to keep people safe. If you don't know the people that you're working with, if you're not working with them on a regular basis, and if they don't know and trust you, things are going to happen. The vaccine mandate, I am all about personally making sure that everyone is vaccinated. But however, with the new CMS or with the CMS mandate, we need to be at 80% at the end of this month, 90% in February, and 100% in March. I am at 80% right now, but my last 20%, those last 80 people that need to get vaccinated are refusing and adamantly refusing to get vaccinated. What am I going to do if another 80% or another 80 people quit? I already have 80 open positions and we're already barely filling our shifts. Then I'll have 160 open positions out of my 500. We need weekly testing options, not 100% vaccine mandate.
The stress of this last year and a half has left its toll. Our company is really struggling, as Tracy explained. When respite closed, I was able to help at a lot of homes. And right now, because of staffing, we had to close again because there's just no one to work. As a supervisor, it's been really hard to hold people to high standards that the individuals that we care for deserve. I just don't know if I can always mention to someone something that they're doing wrong because I know that they can make more money at a manufacturing job or retail job. We're struggling with ethical questions. Can I really approve 70 hours per week when I know that the staff is not going to bother doing anything but the bare minimum for these clients? I struggle with it myself. Should I pick up an extra shift, or is 52 hours enough when I have a 6-year-old daughter to raise? And can I really give these people the care they deserve when I'm at that many hours? I have my limits too. Last week, I worked over 78 hours in a COVID positive home where other employees also worked a lot of hours. One of my colleagues worked 79 and a half hours, and another one worked 60. We had a lot of staff out sick. So sorry, I lost my place, but it's not healthy and it's not sustainable. When you call your 6-year-old to say goodnight and you can tell she's crying because she misses you, that is too much. And a lot of really great people have left this industry because of what we're facing. And when these people leave, they are not coming back.